Hello and welcome to Security on Screen. My name is Peter Mawson, and today I'm delighted to introduce you to Brian Honan, Chief Executive Officer at Fortus. Brian has over 20 years of experience in the security distribution industry and currently oversees all divisions of Fortus Group across Ireland, England and Scotland. Brian, it's a pleasure to welcome you to Security on Screen. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Peter. It's great to be here.
Brian, I wanted to draw on your experience in the sector, if I may. What would you say have been the biggest changes across the market, and how has it been affected overall by the pandemic?
Well, I suppose being based in Ireland and now in the UK, I can talk from both sides of the Irish Sea, where over in Ireland, the industry is governed by a government body called the Private Security Authority that laid down the rules early with regard to working conditions and what was deemed essential service. And I suppose in the UK, it's obviously not a free-for-all, but there's no government body looking after the sector. So it sort of found its natural line, and we looked after customers as best we could throughout the pandemic. Some customers came to us and said they needed a bit of help with credit and stock and stuff like that. So we stocked up well and we managed our customer base as best as we could. We got into new product lines like the thermal screening cameras, and that went particularly well. So that helped us through the pandemic as best as we can. But some of our customers traded particularly well and some didn't trade at all. The more domestic-based customers didn't trade at all. So I suppose now that you guys over in the UK are coming out of the lockdown, as we can see a huge pickup. Over here, we're still in lockdown and we still are going to be. We're probably a couple of months behind you, Peter. So yeah, there's been changes in the industry, but also it's a very resilient industry, and it trades well through hard times. And I think it's a fantastic industry, and I'm an advocate to start speaking about it in glowing terms, because sometimes we don't do that in this industry.
I could only agree with you there, Brian. We do ourselves down, but it's good to hear what the Fortus Group's been delivering through the pandemic and in the territories that you're managing. We really appreciate you taking time to speak with us, Brian. Thank you for joining us today.
No problems. Thank you, Peter.